The woman smiles warmly at your approach. Hello again, sir, and what would you like to purchase this day, What are you selling? I need something to hold ink in. Do you have a tankard or goblet for sale? She nods. Oh yes, many kinds. They range in price from a few coppers to several hundred. I'm looking for the cheapest one you have. She raises an eyebrow. She reaches into a crate at her side, then throws a battered-looking tankard into you. It's covered in dents, and its handle looks like it is about to fall off. This one looks like it was used on someone's skull. She smiles slightly. It'll do. Thanks and farewell.
Updated my journal. Done. I'm gone.
Okay. Yes. I brought a tankard. Can I get the ink? She nods and plucks a fish from her pole. It twitches as she grabs it, then starts lashing around as she begins to twist it like a rag. She wrings it until a bluish-black ichor begins to trickle down from the fish's gills. When her tankard is almost full, she relaxes her grip and throws a twitching fish into a sack at her side. This is kind of weird. Thanks and farewell.
Updated my journal.
Okay. So it doesn't seem like we can get armor here, unless there's another shop down this way. Don't think I've actually taken much of a look down here yet. Oh. Yeah, this is too much for us.
I'm gone.
At least at the moment.
I'm gone.
Hopefully we do not need to come back this way anytime soon, because we probably have to fight those. Right. Forgot. Ambush is just waiting here for us.
Done.
Let's go back to Mebeth and see if she can give us a spell. Yeah.
Alright.
This perspective view is,
Done.
I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's definitely reminiscent of a lot of older games. And, I guess this game is an older game. But it can be a little bit confusing what's in front and what's behind and what different things are. At least with a moving camera, you have a little bit more sense of the geometry of things. Anyway, Mebeth is tugging at the massive greenish lime starch rags you brought back from Giscorel. She seems to be purposely fraying the edges as if to peel them apart somehow. When she hears you approach, she turns. Aye, child? Here's that ink you wanted. Mebeth takes a tankard of ink from you, then sniffs it. Prime ink, fresh it is. Aye. She nods at you. You've done well, child. All I've asked. And ask you again. After all I've seen, do you still wish to learn the art? Wait, what? After all you've seen? Yeah, okay. After all, the guiding goal of your errands was to test my persistence, was it not? I guess that's because we're wise enough to realize this, so I don't think my character would actually say that. I think he'd probably say something kind of passive-aggressive. Actually, yeah, he could say that passive-aggressively. Yes. After all, the guiding goal of your errands was to test my persistence, wasn't it? Maybe a little bit more condescending, but yeah. Okay. Mebeth smiles, then nods. Aye, mayhap, child, mayhap. And that's not all. You knew who I had to see to accomplish each errand, didn't you? Huh. Okay, well, I think the Nameless One is being a bit more perceptive than I am. Not sure what that's about. So, and that's not all. You knew who I had to see to accomplish each errand, didn't you? She nods again, slower this time. Mayhap, child, mayhap. If and so, what did your senses tell you about them? Mourns for trees showed me that my beliefs affect the world around me. Giscorel taught me that ritual is a wasted effort if the purpose of the ritual is ignored. Merem taught me that no matter how much I think I know, there's still much I can learn from another's eyes. So yeah, I guess the Nameless One would actually think about this a little bit and then say all this stuff. Because he is very smart. He's just a little bit impatient. Mebeth is silent for a moment. Then she walks slowly over to you and touches you on the cheek. Oh, child, she sighs. You'll be a master sorcerer one day, you will. Have you the knowing of it yet? You've come to old Mebeth for help, you have. What could a midwife teach such a one? Much, Mebeth. I want to learn all you have to teach. So much XP. Okay, so you walk the path then. Mebeth pauses. First things firstly. Just having the knack for the art isn't enough. Need some means of giving it focus. Usually spells. The spells are usually in a book. So the art demands you have a book, spell book, or its like. Before you can cast spells. Can you read? Well, yeah, we can read. Let's test it. Can you read this? Mabeth draws forth a small tattered card. It looks like a recipe. The writing on the recipe swims before your eyes, each symbol twisting out of focus whenever you try to read it. Almost instinctively, you relax your eyes, allowing them to take in the page all at once, and the symbols suddenly bleed together. The recipe lists measurements, ingredients. It appears to be some minor divination. This is a minor divination, isn't it? Looks like it's a spell that allows the user to see the nature of an item, to see whether it's enchanted or not. Oh. Mabeth's eyes widen. Who are ye to test all Mabeth so? Are ye some fiend? No, well, we're not going to say that. What's wrong? I think that, yeah, we'll be direct. What's wrong?
Updated my journal.
Well, not expecting it, was I? She nods at the recipe, then plucks it out of your hand. What you see, it's written in the language of the art. If you're not a magling yet, it should be all a swirl and jumble of mishmash. She snaps her finger. Yet clear as crystal, you pluck the sense of it right up. Mayhap you tell Mabeth why that is? I think I may have known once, but forgot. Seeing the symbols just jarred my memory. Or I don't really know, I just knew what it said. Well, I don't know that this is really a huge thing, you know, saying one or the other. I think I'll just say, I don't really know, I just knew what it said. Or else a natural gift you may have. No matter. You've just shaved seasons off of your learning, you have. Humph! And I'd been looking for someone to handle the chores around here, I had. Yeah. And I think, as impatient as our character is, I think he is softening up to her a bit. If you need help with anything around here, you can still ask. It's the least I can do in exchange for you teaching me. No, don't worry yourself about that. Now, you can read spells well enough, but spells are no good to you without a book to put them in. Well, do you have one, Mabeth? She glances around the hut, and then she catches sight of the black barbed picture frame you made. She picks it up carefully and studies it. This'll do. That thing? It's just a frame. Excuse me. Ah, but so are ye, child. Still holding the frame, she picks up one of the starched rags you got from Giscorl. With a yank, she pulls off the greenish starched surface film. It flutters in the air like a wispy bit of cloth. Whatever Giscorl uses in the wash, it works better than curing. Stretching the stone it does on a normal rag. Can't afford parchment, I can't. Okay, parchment? She takes a starchy film and pulls it over the black barbed frame, latching the rag's edges onto the hooks around the frame until it looks like a small greenish-black painter's canvas. It's missing something. Well, it needs something painted on it. She nods. Aye, or written on it. She takes a tankard of ink you have given her and sets it down next to her. She dips one of her fingernails into the tankard, then draws it out, mumbling to herself. She begins to scratch symbols onto the frame, one by one, still mumbling to herself. Wait. All's done. Oh, okay. We're not saying wait. I think we're just waiting. So after a while, old Mabeth says, all's done. She stands drying her ink-stained fingernail on her robe. She tilts her head, regarding the strange framed page in front of her. A page for your spell book, it is. She indicates you should pick it up. Inside your spell book are your recipes, your spells, if you will. As long as they sit in the book, though, they're just words. She taps her head. The art demands you pluck the magic out of the book and put them in your attic, your head, before you can tap into the power. So, I think she's about to explain all the mechanics around spellcasting. And maybe most of my viewers will be familiar with this. I'm not. So I'm actually going to go through this. If you don't want to listen to me as I go through it, feel free to skip ahead a bit. But yeah, this is what I'm going to do. Go on. You put them in your attic by studying them, memorizing them. You usually need to rest first before you can do this, though. Any questions? Yes, explain that again. Go on. Okay. No, Mabeth. Oh, no questions, eh? Well now, you should have questions. You know all's about to memorize the spells, do you? You're a sharp one. You sure don't need any more of Mabeth's words all gobbling up your precious time. You're a master sorcerer already. Forgive me, Mabeth. I meant no questions on what you said. Please explain how to memorize spells. Yeah. Humph. Alright then. Here's a dark of how you memorize the spells. Pick the spells you want to stick in your head from your spellbook before you go to sleep. When you wake in the morn, they'll be buzzing around your head like flies, ready to be let out. Excellent. How many spells can I cast? You can cast only one, mayhaps two spells before needing to rest again. Okay, that's not a lot. As a tiny flitting mageling, there isn't much room in your attic. So use your spells wisely until you get wiser in the art. As your power increases, you'll get more room in your attic for spells. You can only cast spells you've memorized. So if you want to use the art to say, mend something twice, you need to memorize a spell. How many times? I'd say I need to memorize a spell twice. I like twice, right enough. This is a good question. How can I get more spells?
Updated my journal.
Keep your eyes and ears out for learning. Even common folk might have some minor magics to teach. There's also scrolls, recipes, books, and even some stranger items that have spells inscribed on them. If you find, just examine it close and copy it into your book if you want it. Okay. Spells inscribed on them. Okay, just keep an eye out for that. Got it. I can also show you more spells if you return, especially when you have a little bit more on the planes in you. Okay, so we come back when we have more experience. I'd appreciate it. Thanks. Before you go, child, you'll need some magics for you to whet your appetite. Mabeth rummages in her robe, then pulls forth 3 small recipes, which she passes on to you. You should copy these into your book, so they can go into your attic as soon as possible. Thanks, Mabeth.
Updated my journal.
Wait, there's more. Okay, this is taking a while. Mabeth fishes a tiny bundle of black cloth from her apron and unrolls it, producing a pair of amber earrings. These will protect you in your travels, child. I no longer wear them myself, so go ahead and take them. Alright, child. Don't tarry here any more. One such as ye has other ways to spend one's time rather than hang around old Mabeth. That be the truth. I'd say... well, we're not going to say that one. Now, come on, Mabeth. You're not that old. Pah, you flatterer. Your tongue is so lined with silver-edged shame. Tezu. Get your hints. What's that? Yeah, I don't know. Alright. Thanks for everything, Macbeth. Pah! You can thank me by not playing the addle cove with what you've learned. The art's damned many a fool who sought to bend it in ways the art weren't meant to bend. Now get along with you.